Hi everyone, this is Shawn McCoy with Jack Rouse Associates. The following presentation was developed for Museum Day at the 2013 IAAPA Conference in Orlando and provides a whirlwind tour of many of the great museums, attractions, and other visitor experiences that have opened in the past 12 to 18 months. So without further ado, let's get started. We begin in Orlando, first at Walt Disney World, where the new Princess Fairy Tale Hall opened. This is a place where children of all ages have the chance to meet their favorite Disney princesses live and in person. Children can choose to either meet Cinderella and a visiting princess or Rapunzel with a visiting princess, and Fast Pass is providing quick access to that little one who just can't wait to meet Rapunzel. The queuing area is styled after an enchanting castle and features paintings of all the various princesses, along with displays such as Cinderella's glass slipper. But the real thrill is getting to meet the princesses, and sometimes their significant others. The core of the experience is beautiful in its simplicity, and that the children have a short one-on-one time with the princess. While technology seems to drive a lot of experiences these days, it's nice to see the power of simple human contact and conversation to create a memory. Disney uses a similar approach with their other new attraction, Enchanted Tales with Belle. The environments and experience are based upon the Disney film Beauty and the Beast and take place inside Belle's cottage home. As you can see, the concept art for the project was wonderfully translated into the built attraction. Guests start out by walking through the cottage that Belle shared with her father Maurice. They then make their way to her father's workshop. Here, a Disney guide explains that the Beast has given Maurice a magical mirror which will transport him to the Beast's castle so he can visit Belle whenever he wants. The mirror comes to life via some great special effects, and a passage opens. Guests are then invited to walk into another room. For this next pre-show, an animatronic of the opera singer who was turned into a wardrobe greets guests and gives them props so they can act out the Beauty and the Beast story as a surprise for Belle. Guests then move to the library where the main show takes place. Over the fireplace, the playful Lumiere character comes to life via some really cool media effects and animatronics, and interacts with Belle, just like in the movie. The main experience is also very simple. The children are given flat props and act out the movie's storyline with Belle, along with their parents. Again, a simple yet memorable experience, similar to the type of programming found in many of today's children's museums. Just a few miles away at Universal Studios Florida, some other lovable characters have been brought to life within the expanded Simpsons area. Located next to the popular Simpsons ride, the new zone recreates the fictional town of Springfield, home of the Springfield Nuclear Power Plant. You can now walk through the colorful town from the long-running television series, where you can see such icons as the Jebediah Springfield statue, or eat and drink at many of Springfield's fine dining establishments. You can get a burger at Krusty Burger, grab a taco at Bumblebee Man's food truck, or stop by Moe's and settle up to the bar with all your friends, including Barney, and have a pint of Homer's favorite Duff beer. You can then stop by the Quickie Mart for a wide variety of souvenirs. As you walk around, you'll come face to face with many of Springfield's famous residents, including Krusty the Clown and Sideshow Bob, Officer Wiggum, and of course Millhouse. The new area also features a new flat ride, aptly named the Twirl and Hurl, which is themed to the aliens who sometimes visit the town. We now move over to SeaWorld, where we'll take a look at the innovative new Empire of the Penguin attraction. Opened this past May, the 4-acre experience is the biggest and most expansive attraction in SeaWorld Orlando's history. The exterior and interior of the attraction immerse guests within Antarctica. During a pre-show theater, they meet a colony of Gentoo penguins and witness the birth of Puck. They then follow Puck on a journey, running upon trackless motion simulators through a variety of environments, which are interspersed with media screens. What makes this attraction so unique is that it combines a theme park ride with a live habitat, because after their ride, guests exit to find a viewing gallery, allowing them to get up close and personal to a colony of the Gentoo penguins that they just learned about. We now go up the road a bit to the Kennedy Space Center, home of the new Space Shuttle Atlantis experience. Housed within a new purpose-built building, the shuttle is one of 4 of the retired spacecraft that are currently on display. The experience was created by PGAV and begins with a series of pre-show theaters where you learn about the history of the shuttle. After an exciting reveal, you step in to see the macro artifact in all of its glory. Each of the various shuttles now being exhibited are displayed in different ways, and the Atlantis is shown with its cargo door open. After you've had a chance to see the shuttle, you can try out a number of interactives, from trying to dock the shuttle, to piloting the craft, to exploring the shuttle program's history via a number of touchscreen interactives. We now make our way west to Dallas, Texas, home of the new Perot Museum of Nature and Science. Opened in December of 2012 with an innovative architecture designed by Morphosis, the 180,000 square foot building features a living roof and a rainwater collection system that supplies 100% of the museum's landscaping water and 74% of the museum's non-potable water. The project does a great job of integrating the site, facility, and exhibits into a seamless experience, beginning with these luminous site icons, to displays that blend well within the architecture. The exhibit halls are spread over 6 floors and include 11,000 square feet of dinosaur displays, a hall of biodiversity, an energy hall featuring multimedia exhibits and displays, a children's museum, and a variety of innovative media interactives where you can soar like a bird, explore art and culture, and my favorite interactive, one where you can run against an NFL player or an Olympian, race a cheetah, or my favorite, try to outrun a full-size T-Rex. We now travel about 1,700 miles west to the new $220 million Exploratorium in San Francisco. Sitting upon 9 acres on Piers 15 and 17 along the Embarcadero. The historic interior and exterior of Pier 15 was renovated extensively prior to the move and is divided into several galleries featuring over 600 exhibits, a quarter of which were designed specifically for the new museum. The building has a net zero energy goal, and due to features such as a solar roof and rainwater collection, is likely to receive a gold LEED rating. And its location on the waterfront's not bad either. Of course, the Exploratorium is known for its exhibits, where art meets science, and the experience begins outside, where guests can immerse themselves on the fog bridge created by Japanese artist Fujiko Nakaya. The new museum features over 330,000 square feet of the types of exhibits with which its name is now synonymous, including a variety of hands-on exhibits, body-on interactives, optical illusions, media interactives, theaters, and live demonstrations. One highlight of the museum is the tactile dome, which was originally designed and built in 1971 by August Coppola, father of actor Nicolas Cage and brother of film director Francis Ford Coppola, and was rebuilt for Pier 15. Here guests crawl, slide, and bump their way through complete darkness, using only their sense of touch to navigate through a variety of chambers and mazes. We now move from the California coast east to the Colorado Rockies to check out an innovative new exhibit at Denver's History Colorado Center. Within the Visitor Center's large atrium, you'll find a large mural of Colorado, which makes it look like you're looking down from 400 miles up. Guests are invited to move around several 7-foot-tall, steampunk-style time machines across the map. When the machine hits a hotspot, video screens come to life with virtual clocks winding back to fun, interesting, and sometimes quirky stories related to the history of that place. Here's a short video.
The actual time machine is about the size of a washing machine. Visitors will be able to push it from place to place around the map, and when they get to a hot spot on the map, a story will come up, or 3 or 4 stories will come up about that place.
The sugar beet.
Let's continue east and go to Milwaukee, home of the Waukesha County Museum and their new Les Paul exhibit. I wanted to highlight this exhibit not only because it's a great project, but also because it's a relatively small project, about 2,000 square feet with a modest budget of around $500,000. Here guests can learn all about the legendary guitarist and inventor known as the Wizard of Waukesha, from his early local childhood, including artifacts from his home, to displays about his inventions, such as the harmonica holder, and the innovations he made to the electric guitar. Of course, the exhibit features a number of guitar displays, including those of famous musicians, such as Pete Townshend from The Who and Eric Clapton. The project was designed and built by BRC Imagination Arts and Peter Hyde Design, along with Chicago Scenic. One of my favorite aspects of the exhibit is the graphic novel style of the environmental graphics, designed by New York artists Dean Haspiel and C. Casano. These really help to tell the story of Les Paul in a colorful and engaging manner. The museum also features a number of Les Paul's personal artifacts, including his favorite jacket, which he's wearing in this cutout display. From Milwaukee, we head east to Cleveland to visit the Cleveland Museum of Art and their new Gallery 1 experience. While guests can view the displayed art in a traditional passive manner, Gallery 1 is really about an interactive experience, where technology meets art. For example, guests can see all of the gallery's 3,000 pieces of artwork on display via a multi-user touch wall, which they can use to download their favorite images to a media tablet. The same tablet can also allow them to learn more about the art they're about to view. And they can use it to take a self-guided tour. The tablets also feature augmented reality experiences, as do several kiosks located throughout the gallery. Finally, there are a variety of interactive games that challenge guests to match works of art, making this an experience that is as entertaining as it is educational. Let's take a quick look at Gallery 1. We now head to Easton, Pennsylvania, headquarters to Crayola, and home to the completely reimagined Crayola experience. My colleagues at JRA designed and produced this renovated brand experience, beginning with the exterior, where the existing front entry was made more colorful and inviting via environmental signage and iconic sculptures. The back entrance was improved as well, and was transformed from this industrial-looking facade to something a little brighter and more playful, and features a variety of Crayola's animated characters. The museum's interior was completely renovated and includes a variety of bright studios, where children can make a number of crafts. They can also doodle in the dark, make their own custom crayon labels, create their own two-color markers, put themselves in a coloring book, and dance with Crayola characters. And in one of the attraction's most popular galleries, they can create their own artwork, send that artwork to the adjacent wall where it is animated within a variety of scenes. The facility also features a live show where guests are shown how crayons were traditionally made, by pouring hot wax into large molds. The live host interacts with the Crayola's Tip and Pip characters to make this a more engaging show for the audience. Other areas within the brand experience include an indoor playground and climbing structure, a new cafe, and a bright new store where guests can pick from a variety of colors to make a custom box of crayons. We now make our way down to North Carolina, to the Nature Research Center in Raleigh. Opened in April of last year, the goals of this 80,000 square foot expansion to the North Carolina Museum of Natural Science is to bring research scientists and their work more into the public eye. In addition to the working scientist labs, there are also 3 Investigate labs designed for visitors. The 4-story museum features over 20,000 specimens ranging from fossils and bones to preserved reptiles, birds, and mammals, as well as a variety of media-based presentations and interactives. The centerpiece of the museum is the SCCU Daily Planet, an immersive 3-story multimedia space that links virtual to real nature and is the site of live programming on breaking science news. At regular intervals during the day, scientists present to NRC visitors using the cutting-edge technology and media of the SCCU Daily Planet and its 40 by 40 foot high-definition screen. These presenters discuss the science research behind current issues and their societal impacts. We now turn our attention to 2 new traveling exhibits that are currently touring the world via trucks and ships. The first is the Science of Ripley's Believe It or Not, developed by Science North in collaboration with Ripley's Entertainment. The 6,000 square foot exhibit opened this past March and features a number of interactives, displays, artifacts, and multimedia presentations to educate guests about the science behind the eccentric stories and collections of the legendary explorer Robert Ripley. Specific experiences include a scavenger hunt, an animatronic of the 8'11" Robert Wadlow, the world's tallest man, a scientific explanation of how sword swallowing is possible, a display of shrunken heads, and folk art, pieces of a meteorite, the jaws of a megalodon, and a crawl-through of a prehistoric snake. Let's take a look at the science of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Believe it or not.
My favorite exhibit definitely has to be the statue of Robert Wadlow, probably because it's really hard to believe that a person could actually be as tall as he is.
At this time, I would like to tell you about some of the most interesting discoveries that I have ever made in my long career of Believe It or Not.
And I've always heard rumors about the giant shark megalodon, but now I can see his skull and feel his teeth, and it's very awesome.
This was a great exhibit, a lot of fun, informative, enjoyable. It's just a great overall family-oriented show.
Believe it or not, sword swallowing is real.
This is my favorite exhibit because I like to dance around.
Few people have ever seen an actual, genuine human shrunken head.
When I came in here, I was absolutely dazzled by the display, the variety of science to the relics of my past. It was absolutely an amazing display.
And here's another look inside that giant snake. Another traveling exhibit made its debut this year as Sea Monsters Revealed opened in September at the Georgia Aquarium. This 12,000 square foot exhibition begins with an introductory film narrated by Philippe Cousteau and asks the question, were ancient sea monsters just imagination, or were they inspired by real-life creatures as are on display within this exhibition? Considered as the aquatic equivalent to the human body's exhibition, the exhibit features a variety of plasticized specimens, including a 6-foot wide devil ray, a 15-foot-long mako shark, and an 18-foot-long 3,000-pound whale shark. Here's a short video. We now make our way to Northern Ireland, former home of the Harland and Wolff shipyard and new home to Titanic Belfast, a 130,000 square foot, $150 million attraction. The museum's impressive building was designed by Civic Arts and Todd Architects and stands 126 feet tall, the same height as the Titanic's hull. The project does a great job of blending architecture and interpretation, beginning with the outside of the building to its interior, such as this 4-story atrium. The museum features a number of important pieces, such as this letter, to stunning photographs, recreated environments, and displays. A large theater takes guests to the ocean floor where they can see the actual ship. A number of other experiences allow guests to see the wreckage from a variety of viewpoints. The exhibitions were created by London-based Event Communications, and one of their signature techniques was to immerse guests through a combination of scenic treatments and projected media, taking them on a virtual tour through the ship and through history. A traditional Pepper's Ghost technique was used to great effect in some of the galleries, allowing the spaces to live as simple displays or become engaging theatrical experiences. Here are 2 short video clips showing these techniques in motion. We now head to France, home of Les Machines de l'Île, or the Machines of the Isle of Nantes. This artistic project aims to promote the city of Nantes as a creative center of dream and fantasy. The project is housed within 4 warehouses of a former shipyard and is the work of 2 artists who draw from Jules Verne and Leonardo da Vinci for their inspiration for their steampunk creations. Since July of 2007, the attraction has featured 3 major projects, the first of which you might recognize, the Great Elephant, which can take up to 49 passengers for a 45-minute walk. Last year, the 75-foot-tall Marine World's Carousel opened, which features 35 moving underwater creatures on 3 levels. Visitors are able to move the animals and guide their movements. Some of these are very whimsical, and some are a bit creepy. Here's a short video. Now, please note, the audio cuts out towards the end of the video, so no need to turn up your speakers. And again, the audio cuts out, so no need to turn up your speakers. The attraction also features a testing workshop open to the public, which features a variety of kinetic sculptures. The heron tree is currently in testing in the open workshop gallery and will allow visitors to climb either onto the back or onto the wings of the birds for a circular flight inside and outside the building. We now head to Kastrup, Denmark, a suburb outside of Copenhagen and home to the new Blue Planet Aquarium. Opened in March of 2013, the aquarium is the largest in Northern Europe and features a variety of galleries, beautiful interiors, and 20,000 fish housed within 53 tanks, including this large viewing area. The facility's stunning architecture was created by Danish firm 3XN and was designed to resemble a whirlpool. We now head a little bit north to Norway to check out the new Thor's Hammer attraction at Tusenfryd Theme Park. Opened in June of 2013, the ride is a motion-based 3D dark ride based upon the character Thor of Norse mythology. Designed and built by P&P Projects with a ride system by ETF, the ride immerses guests through a combination of physical scenery and 10 3D screens. Here's a quick look at Thor's Hammer. Now again, the audio cuts out at the end of this video, so don't be alarmed. We now go to Russia, where the $50 million Jewish Museum and Tolerance Center opened in Moscow in November of 2012 within a former bus garage. At 90,000 square feet, the museum is thought to be the largest Jewish museum in the world. The visit begins with a 15-minute 4D film about the early history of Judaism. Seats shake under the audience as the narrator describes the biblical plagues of Egypt, such as the rain of frogs. The museum was designed by Ralph Applebaum Associates and features a number of large, beautiful galleries. Photography displays. And theaters. One area of the museum invites guests to sit down to listen to personal stories. The museum also makes good use of media and technology to explore the religious and social history of Jewish culture. Mr. Putin has extended his personal support to the project and actually donated a month's salary for its construction. We now fly south to the United Arab Emirates to the $245 million Yas Water World. The park is designed with an Arabian fantasy theme and rides developed by Whitewater, a theme to follow a storyline called Legend of the Lost Pearl. Opened in Abu Dhabi in January of 2013 next to Ferrari World, the water park features 43 rides and attractions spread over 30 acres, including 5 new rides never seen before. The park has been called a new benchmark in water park design, as it's more of an attraction than a purely water-based park, and even includes an interactive roller coaster where guests can have a squirt gun battle with guests on the ground. We now make our way east. We now make our way east to check out the new Mystic Manor attraction. We now make our way east to check out the new Mystic Manor attraction, found within Hong Kong Disneyland. The attraction opened last May and tells the story of Lord Henry Mystic and his monkey Albert. The queue begins at the front of the manor. Inside, guests see some of Lord Mystic's exotic collections. They then step into a pre-show theater where Lord Mystic explains his various artifacts and exhibit rooms. He also mentions a rare magic box that should be opened with caution. Guests are then invited to hop on Henry's Mystic magneto-electric carriages for a tour of the museum. Of course, in the first room, Albert opens the magic box, and for the rest of the tour, all of the artifacts come to life. Guests then exit into a themed retail environment. The attraction features an original score by Danny Elfman and has quickly become one of the more popular attractions at Hong Kong Disneyland. So that's an overview of many of the great attractions that have opened recently. A whole new batch of great projects are currently under construction, and here's a sneak peek at just a few of the attractions we'll all be talking about next year. We begin in Singapore, at River Safari, which is a river-themed zoo and aquarium located between the Singapore Zoo and the Night Safari. The park actually opened last year and already features a number of aquaria and live animal exhibits, including giant pandas and polar bears. Later this year, the park will introduce 2 new major theme park rides, a whitewater rafting experience as well as a themed boat ride. The whitewater rafting attraction will feature Malayan tigers, while the Amazon slow boat ride will feature over 20 species of animals from the Amazon River. Next year in Orlando, a number of attractions will be opening. First at Disney World, where the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train will complete Disney's Fantasyland expansion. This indoor-outdoor family coaster will feature a new ride system which simulates the swaying and tipping one would expect from a minecart, as well as music from the classic Disney film and animated figures of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Next year in Orlando, a number of attractions will be opening. First at Disney World, where the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train will complete Disney's Fantasyland expansion. This indoor-outdoor family coaster will feature a new ride system, which simulates the swaying and tipping one would expect if riding in a minecart. The attraction will also feature music from the classic Disney film, along with animated figures of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. One of the more eagerly awaited attractions in 2014 will be at Universal Studios Florida, with the new Harry Potter Zone. The new area will be London-themed, and will allow guests to ride the Hogwarts Express train to the original Wizarding World, which opened at Universal's Islands of Adventure in June of 2010. The studio side will be named Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley, and will include a marquee attraction based on the Gringotts Wizarding Bank, along with shops and a restaurant based upon J.K. Rowling's series of books and films. Finally, those of you who attended my presentation at IAAPA in 2012 may remember me talking about the new Angry Birds theme park that opened in Finland. I not only talked about the park and its various rides, but also talked about my 4-year-old son Finn, who's just a little bit obsessed with Angry Birds, and how he was bummed not to have the chance to visit the park. Well, our last Coming Soon project will make him very happy, as JRA has teamed with Rovio and Imagine Exhibitions to develop a new Angry Birds traveling exhibit called Angry Birds Universe, the Art and Science of a Global Phenomenon. The project will be launched early next summer, and more details will be released soon. With that, our tour of great new projects has come to a close. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation, and please email me at smccoy@jackrous.com should you have any comments, questions, or corrections. Thanks again.